Xavier, what do you think? Yeah. What do you think about having a little brother today? Huh? What do you think? You excited? Yeah, is that what you think? Are you pointing? That's what I figured. You're gonna have a little brother today or tomorrow, Xavier. Your brother's gonna be born soon. What do you think?
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
It's induction day. What do you think? What do you think? Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Candace Kaufman. So it is induction day. Eric and I are on the way to the hospital to have the baby. I'm going to be induced at 5 o'clock. We stopped by our place and got mail and stuff, and now we are on our way to the hospital. So my guess is that I am 4 centimeters dilated, and yeah, that's my guess. Eric's guess is tell him your guess.
What? 3 centimeters and 35%.
We'll see. So when the doctor checked me, was it Monday, I was 2 centimeters dilated and 20% effaced. I've had some strong contractions and I didn't really get much sleep last night. I was wondering if we were gonna have to go into the hospital. However, they say, you know, if your contractions are 5 minutes apart for 1 hour, then you need to go in. And it was getting close, but then they started varying. So it wasn't 5 minutes apart for 1 full hour. So we are on our way and we're gonna get all checked in. We're gonna be there early. So it is 4:27. My induction is scheduled for 5 o'clock. And I will check back in with you guys probably after we get checked in. I believe what I'm going to do is wear a mask up to the room. So we will check in at the main desk. And I believe there's gonna be a nurse to meet us there and walk us up to labor and delivery, which is different than it was before. Before we checked in by the emergency room, at the emergency entrance, and then they just kind of, I think, tell you where to go. So this time we're checking into the main front desk area, and there's gonna be someone to come and meet us and take us up to labor and delivery. So, and I imagine they'll screen us, take our temperature and everything before we even proceed from the front desk area. That's my guess. So I plan to wear a mask until I get into our labor and delivery room. And I'm also gonna request that the nursing staff wear masks. And they did say they would not be offended by that if I felt more comfortable with them wearing masks. And it doesn't hurt just to take that extra precaution, just in case, to use wisdom. So, yeah, here we go. We're gonna have a baby very, very soon. to the hospital. We checked in. I'm gonna vent a little bit, and I wanna give the staff the benefit of the doubt. I was pretty frustrated because when we went through the screening area, they checked our temperatures, everything, and we were able to proceed. There was somebody in front of us. We tried to check in. There were, I think, what, 3 people at the front desk. So 3 different people you could check in with, but I guess where we needed to check in, there was someone checking in. It was a mother, I think, trying to check her son. He looked like he could have been a teenager. He was wearing a mask. The mom was not, and apparently the son had a temperature. So I'm not sure how they let him through the screening area to the front desk area, because if anyone has a temperature cough like that, they're supposed to go to the emergency area, which is a whole nother entrance. So here I am pregnant, and he was kind of a distance in another part of the waiting area, and then he was over close to where we were, and I think he was like 6 feet from us initially, but then it took them quite a while to check him in, and then they asked if he needed a wheelchair, and so it took them a while to get that, and then they were like getting closer, and I was like, it's just not something you want to encounter when you're checking into the hospital to be induced. So I'm so glad that we had our masks on, that my mom made us. So at least we had our masks on. So when it was our turn to check in, I did not want to stand at the counter where the mom was standing. I didn't want to sit down. She offered that, and I just wanted to stand kind of away. I know I'm paranoid. However, I feel like I have to be wise and protect myself as well, especially before I get induced to go into labor and have a baby. So the person doing the check-in, none of them had masks. However, she did sanitize her hands before she put my bracelet on me, a little hospital bracelet. So she did sanitize, disinfect her hands, and then she put this on. Then she walked us to the elevator, and actually, I'm out of breath. Yeah, but anyways, so, I mean, these are the times we're living in. I guess one of the ladies, the lady that checked us in, her coworker is one who walked, because it was kind of taking her a while, and I guess she was starting to wheel that person to the emergency area, but her coworker took over, and he went and did it, came back, and I believe he went and washed his hands and then disinfected before he came back to their workspace at the front desk. So anyways, all that to say that she walked us, the person who checked us in, walked us to the elevator and brought us up to our, where we check in. So we are here, we are checked in, and I'm talking a lot, but I really need to be going to give a urine sample. So much fun. And so we can get this started. I'm gonna show you around the room just a little bit because I need to do what I'm supposed to and do this sample, this urine sample, and get changed. So I did request the low intervention room because it is a bigger room. It has like a tub in it and like this birthing stool. You can see they have a birthing ball in here, so I can still use that. Eric has already gotten comfortable. Our stuff, the baby's car seat. And they wanted us to bring everything in, so we just brought everything in. They're trying to minimize the amount of times you're like in and out of the hospital, which makes sense. So we just brought everything so we don't have to go back to the car. Couch. And my husband is anxious for me to do what I'm supposed to do. Bathroom. So. Gowned up. Yeah, gowned up. And we're about to get this started. They're about to put baby on the monitor just to check, and it's kind of hard to believe. baby here. Oh my goodness. It's starting to get real. Beautiful day to get induced. I requested the low intervention room. It's a little bit bigger, and I had XAVIER in a low intervention room. However, I was trying to do without epidural, but I ended up getting an epidural, so I'm guessing that I'm going to get an epidural this time. Like, I'm okay with that. I was trying to go without last time. However, this time, I'm okay with getting one. So anyways, we're staying in this, it's not a lower intervention room. However, it's a nice size, and here we are. All right, so Eric and I are settled here. Eric is laying down watching something, and I'm watching something on TV. And they inserted something to soften my cervix, and the doctor is going to come back a little bit later and check me again. So I am dilated to, what, 2.5 centimeters, I think they said, and 25% effaced. So I have a little ways to go. So I have a ways to go, and we will see how much I've progressed when the doctor returns. And if it's thinned out enough, or if I'm ready enough, they will start Pitocin. They might need to do another dose of what they inserted to soften my cervix a little bit more. But we will see how far along I am when my doctor returns. Eric and I had dinner earlier. I had meatloaf, green beans, sweet potato fries, and then just a little bit ago I had some sugar-free Jell-O. I got some water here, and we're just kind of relaxing until the doctor comes and checks on me a little bit later. So we'll give you guys another update soon. All right, so they checked me a little bit ago. I am 4 centimeters dilated. I am 40%, or I think Eric said 50% effaced. Yes, so the Pitocin is going now, and I'm still feeling all right. Contractions are fairly strong, but they are bearable. We talked to the nurse anesthetist, so the nurse anesthetist came in and went over things with me so that if I decide to get an epidural, they need my signature. So I sure did give my signature, and I'm still gonna see how long I can go without getting an epidural. I mean, I know I did this the last 2 times, so I'm gonna do this again and see how long I can go without it. So yes, 4 centimeters dilated, 50% effaced, and I'm just gonna keep going as long as I can without epidural, and we'll see how far I'm progressed in the next, I imagine they'll come check me in the next, what, hour you think, honey? And I'm gonna show you Eric, he's relaxing. So yeah, he's relaxing. I'm standing up because my butt was getting numb and I just needed to get up. They're monitoring baby contractions, and they're taking my blood pressure fairly often, I feel like. So it's going smoothly so far, so prayerfully it will continue to go smoothly. And I will check back on you guys probably the next time that I get checked, and definitely before it's time to push, and possibly after epidural. Well, no, and definitely after I get an epidural.
got straight hair or curly hair? If it's black and straight, that'd be good. Black and curly, then you're gonna have a handful. Hope for the best, but either way.
So much. It might be curly. It looks like it's curling on this side.
Oh, you're gonna have your handful, boy.
I normally really like it.
It's like you and Davey will have different hairstylists. Well, once you move out of the house, I guess Mama's got you covered for a while.
They probably will.
Hard to beat free.
And someone you trust.
There you are.
Be able to give us that warning. I think what we've learned about immediately removing all of those issues that they need to do.
Telling the secrets.
I don't know if they're green. They're pretty dark right now.
Snack, a late afternoon snack. I got hummus and pita bread, veggies, yogurt parfait, a little bit of cranberry juice, water, mandarin oranges. I got quite a spread here. Eric ran to our place. He's gonna shower and grab some things and come back. And I'm gonna chill out here, and then we'll order dinner when he gets back. Let the nurse wheel him a bit closer to me so I can see him. He's sleeping peacefully. He ate, and Eric swaddled him up before he left to go to our place to get some things and shower. And I am going to get a little bit of rest. I think I'm just gonna chill out for a little bit until Eric gets back. Hello everyone, so it is April 23rd, so I had little XANDER here, 3:59 a.m. on April 21st, so we've been in the hospital for a bit, and I am just waiting on the nurse, or I should say we are waiting on the nurse to get back, and I guess I have a nurse that attends to me, a nurse that attends to the baby, so we are waiting for the nurse to come and help change the baby's diaper because he had a blowout while he was eating. So he's eating right now, and they're gonna help Eric get the baby's diaper changed and get him cleaned up, and I'm gonna get his going home outfit out so they can change him into that. And while they're doing that, I'm going to shower, and yep, we're gonna go home here in just a little bit, and we are actually gonna stay at our place tonight because little Xander has a doctor's appointment in the morning. So we figured it'd make sense just to stay here in Columbia at our place. And then we will go back to Eric's in-laws, we will go back to my in-laws tomorrow after Xander's doctor's appointment, and he will meet his brother Xavier for the first time, and we're excited about that. So I will check back in with you guys when I get all cleaned up. Eric is relaxing. Eric is chilling out. We're waiting for the nurse to come in. Yeah, so I like those orders. My orders are to snuggle and rest. I can do that. Home from the hospital yesterday. We came to our place. We left the hospital. Xander had a doctor's appointment this morning. He's asleep right now. We drove 2 cars to Armstrong, so we're just trying to figure everything out and how to make it work. My dad is coming to pick us up to drive us to Armstrong, and Xavier's gonna meet his brother for the first time. Hello everyone. So little Xander is 2 weeks old today, which is hard to believe, 2 weeks old already. So somewhere between 5 and 6 centimeters when they checked me in the hospital, I got an epidural. And then when they checked me when I was complete, somewhere between the time I got to being complete and it being time to push, Xander moved. So he was no longer head down, and the cord and his feet were going to be coming out first. So when the nurse checked me, and I guess she felt cord, she said something like, "We have a cord." And then the attending physician checked and confirmed. And then my doctor came in and checked, and she did not take her hand out. She kept it in there. People started coming in the room, and the doctor looked at me, said I was gonna have my baby. She basically let me know that I was gonna have my baby via C-section, and she told me not to push. So yeah, it was, okay, you know, I got kind of nervous, I was nervous. And so they started wheeling me to the operating room, and then they started running like it was a rush. So they rushed me in, they prepared me for the C-section, and they started things, and then they brought Eric in. And Xander was born via C-section. Did not expect that. And he was 9 pounds. And he is a precious, precious little boy. I obviously didn't film much after they checked me when I was 4 centimeters. Things started happening quickly. I got my epidural at about 2:30 a.m. And it really didn't start really kicking in until after 3 in the morning. And that was perfect timing, because if I had not chosen to receive the epidural and receive it when I did, things might have gone differently. So because I had already received the epidural, they just had to add some meds so that I was numb where I needed to be for the C-section. And actually I won't go into detail, but if you want to hear more details about my C-section, I will do a separate video for that. I want to keep this as uplifting as possible, because if you're pregnant, expecting, I want you to expect a good labor and delivery experience, and I don't want you to feel discouraged at all. So if you want details about a C-section, what to expect, and your recovery, I'm going to do a separate video on that. But anyways, so yes, I got the epidural just in time. Thank God I got it when I did. So I didn't do much filming because things moved so quickly. So after they checked me when I was 4 centimeters, contractions started getting more intense. Got the epidural. Shortly after that, it just moved fast, and I ended up needing to have a C-section. So Xander arrived at 3:59 a.m. on April 21st, and the recovery is definitely different than a vaginal labor and delivery, and I will talk more about that in another video. So right now, my husband and I are staying at my parents' house, and still in recovery. I cannot lift over 10 pounds. So we're needing help with my son, Xavier. He's 1. I'm feeling much better. It's amazing what 2 weeks time can do. So grateful for our blessings for this beautiful baby. Oh, one thing I wanted to mention, I actually ended up not wearing a mask during labor and delivery, which if you've seen my previous videos, you might know that I was planning on wearing a mask to the room, but not during labor and delivery. And I was planning on asking the nursing staff to wear masks. Well, I ended up not doing that. And there were so many people in and out of the room, which maybe would have been a good reason for them to wear. I just decided I wasn't gonna do that. So, and we were okay. And there were so many people in and out of the room, and there did end up being a resident that was working with my doctor. So I just went with the flow. This time, I didn't go by a birth plan, and I was not a stickler for that, so I did just go with the flow. And some of the nurses that came in, some of the staff did have on masks when they came into the room, but not everyone. So I appreciate the ones that did have masks on. But you know, all we could do is be responsible for ourselves and then have faith for the rest. So if you are pregnant and going to have a baby in the hospital, that's something you might consider is, you know, if they're not wearing masks, requesting that they wear masks when they come into the room. And they are doing extra screening for the staff when they come to work, so that's a good thing. But yep, just something to keep in mind. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a like and subscribe to my channel if you've not already. I would love to have you as a subscriber, and I will see you in my next video. Also, stay tuned for my next video. In editing this video, it was getting pretty long, so I decided to do a separate video on Xavier meeting Xander for the first time. So please stay tuned for the next video, and you'll get to see Xavier meeting Xander for the very first time. All right, until next time, thanks guys for tuning in.